Welcome to the Imperial Grandstand. I'm Alan Imperial.
I'm Carlos Del Rosario.
Today, we saw Parasite.
Parasite.
Now, what a great movie.
Oh yeah. Now you see, I'm gonna act all hipster
Yep.
and say, well, I saw Parasite before. It won the Academy Award for Best Picture, which is kind of insane that it won a foreign film that is not English is an Academy Award winner for Best Picture. That never happened
Happens.
before. So yeah, I think it's really cool. And to me, it is one of the best movies of the year.
Yeah, and I actually got to see a lot of those movies, so it's fantastic.
Yeah. So
Now, let's just dive into the movie a little bit.
yeah.
We're going to spoil the trailer, so if you
Yeah.
want to know nothing about this movie before seeing it, then don't watch this video. But we're going to be talking about just the trailer. So it kind of starts off with two guys hanging out, and somebody got a job offer.
Yes. Yes. You see, there is a family that is poor and they live in the slums. They live in a semi basement,
Yeah.
and their life is pretty miserable. They're underemployed.
Yeah.
Taking odd jobs here and there. And the son of this family, probably in his 20s, early
Hmm.
20s, he should be in university, but
Not.
for one reason or another, but he's a smart kid, and he's given a position from a friend of his, who's I think he would be quite affluent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the family is quite affluent as
Yes.
well.
So he was formerly a tutor of
English.
an English tutor for a teenage girl,
Yep.
but the problem is this college student is going away
Abroad.
abroad, so he needs some, and he doesn't trust any of his classmates or anyone from his schools with this girl. So, there's this poor schlub who's smart though. He's very smart. His English is uh
Is great.
is great apparently. Uh,
And
and uh, and he takes this job, but he needs to forge documents.
yeah. And then you find out that this family kind of works together in one of the worst ways possible, but it brings
Yes,
them together.
yes, yes. What happens is, oh, well, your son needs an art tutor. You
Yeah.
know what? I might know someone. I have a cousin who had a friend that went to the Illinois,
Art Institute
Art Institute,
or
and it's
something.
like she might be great. And it's like, yo sis, I got a job for you. Just pretend that you're got art psychology and
Yeah.
stuff.
And then in the trailer, you kind of find out how the parents view the rich and how it's like, oh, you're only nice because you're rich. So it's kind of like maybe they deserve what's happening to them if they're that naive.
Well,
It's in
yeah,
the trailer where
yeah,
it's like
yeah. I think we're jumping, but
we are jumping.
eventually
Sorry,
the rest of the family is actually starts being employed by the Park family, the affluent rich family, who have an amazing home, by the way. And yeah, it's and at first it's like, oh, this is just a dark comedy.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of benign. It's like I feel sorry for some people that they, screw over, but it's like, yeah, it's okay. It's if I was in the same situations, I was like, yeah, I think I'd be doing similar things.
And of course, the director, help me out with the director's name.
Bong Joon-ho?
Thank you. I was gonna butcher
I
it.
let's look that up because I said that really fast. I know I have some of the syllables right, but let's see
Yep.
here.
Bung.
Bong Joon-ho. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Let's X out of this. Yeah. So yeah, he's really amazing in that I saw a bunch of his other movies, and he really knows how to use comedy, but he also approaches subjects often about class in very new, very inventive ways.
And uh, he always adds a twist
Yeah, it's a
to
twist.
things.
So
But
a
it's
movie that you might have seen was Snowpiercer,
yep.
which is definitely about class. And you have other movies like The Host or Mother or Okja. And what I love about him, he has something to say, and he doesn't. His movies aren't boring; they're always very entertaining, and I learn a lot.
And I honestly think it was the best movie of the year. The cinematography was amazing. The action when you get there is amazing.
Yes, yeah. You see the divide between the worlds of the rich and the poor, and the way just simple things, how the way they use framing. So you see this young man. This is where he's being interviewed. He has to go up the stairs. It's like he's ascending,
Yeah.
and he's in like a garden. Everything is so pristine and nice, and the family is a gorgeous family. You
Right.
see, even there's a line right there between him and
The outs and their world.
and their world. So yeah,
And when you get to the uh Miss I guess the poorer family,
yes,
uh you the framing just pushes them down. Like
pushes them
the
down.
world is literally stepping on them.
Yes,
And it's just a great movie, and
yeah,
there's just this magical turn that happens
yeah,
where
and
you don't know what's coming.
yeah, and it's very rare for me to watch a movie where like I honestly don't know what's going to happen, and we cannot spoil that. You don't want to be spoiled. You want to go into this movie knowing as little as possible, but we're just saying things that are in
The
the
trailer,
trailer.
because it's amazing. What's up with all those art things? It
Yes,
gets explained. But uh, basically, we just want to say we saw this earlier and we really liked it.
you really liked it, and because it won, it's probably in a theater near you. Like it's
It's in
literally
Regal now
it's
because
at
I saw it in
Regal.
a Regal.
It's in a bunch of theaters. You should check it out. And if you're like, oh, but I don't like watching words while people are speaking, just, get over it. I'm like, it's great. And don't be like, don't watch the English stuff. You got to watch the actors' acts.
You're right. Yeah,
You know.
you know, I know many friends who learned Japanese so they don't have to read the words, and
Yes.
it's like, oh, I wish I was that dedicated.
Yeah.
But uh, going back to the filmmaking, every shot matters, and the director knows that,
Yeah.
and it's just amazing. Like, just look at that. Look at that beautiful framing.
Gorgeous. Yeah. I hear that they actually built a house. It's a yeah. The architecture is very important in
Yeah.
this movie, and oh, the cast is wonderful. The main one of the
Let's
main actors, we've
let's
seen him many times in a lot of movies.
let's get that.
Let's it's in Chrome, I think. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Kang Ho Song. Can we click on him? I know I'm not helping out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an extraordinary actor. He's in a lot of my favorite Korean movies, like JSA. Park Chan-wook uses him a lot.
Yeah.
JSA, Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance.
Oh, what a
Oh,
wonderful.
wonderful movie. Yeah, and he's also in Snowpiercer, but
Yeah.
he's often very stoic and very composed, but like every time it's like something just breaks him. Oh, and the host. How could I forget about the host? He is hilarious in the host. Wow. He's if you've never seen him before, it's like, yeah, this is a great entry point into and just go back and just he has a very good agent where it's like he's in some amazing films.
I I can't pronounce your name, so I'm sorry, but the main actress of the film, I was just totally I loved her and hated her at the same time. And
Yeah.
it's beautiful because you're supposed to do that.
You know what? There are a number of dogs in this little, cute, lovely dogs. But, she kind of reminds me of them, where it's like you're cute and you have a purpose. At the same time, it's like, oh man, you're a puppy. You're just people are just leading you along.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And that's actually a recurring theme in the film that's brought up by by the husband.
Yes.
What's his Lee Sun?
Lisa. Yeah.
I can't pronounce your name, so but I've never seen him before, but
Yeah.
wonderful. Or
Oh
maybe I
yeah.
have,
Yeah. It's
and he's a chameleon.
yeah the Park family, the affluent family. They're a very beautiful family. I mean, the parents alone, like, ooh, wow, y'all
Yeah.
look gorgeous.
So just a lot of things to love about it. If you love a movie that just knows how to draw that fine line between comedy and tension and horror. If you want to have a movie about class and how it really just changes your perspective on the weather.
Yes.
That's
Perspective on the weather and the what people are ignorant to and that the people that you care about and that I feel in this movie, there are no evil people. People do terrible, terrible things, but it's understandable why they do it, and a lot of it is out of desperation and scarcity and just reaction.
Reaction is a very important
Yes,
one.
reaction, and yeah, it's incredible. I saw it. This is my second time seeing it, and I'm really glad that my friend Alan finally had the chance to see it.
Yeah, it wasn't in walking distance of me, so I didn't see it.
Yeah, I was like, it's playing in Kew Gardens. Come by. I was like, no,
Too
no,
far.
too far.
It's across the street. Ah, I'm going.
Yeah,
So, uh, I basically my final thought of this is, if you can see it now, see it now. If you can't see it now, see it next week.
yeah, and I think it's some movies are just at their best when they're in theaters. Because generally you can't use your cell phone, you can't be distracted. You're not having dinner or anything, and with a movie with subtitles, you need to read the subtitles. There's no
Yeah,
way around it. So it's like this movie requires your full attention.
yeah. And
Yeah. Even
there's
this is
bloodshed.
look at this. This is metaphor.
There's
I love
bloodshed.
this.
Uh,
This beautifully coifted table with this white bread. I was like, no. It's evocative.
Man, I want some watermelon juice now. So Carlos, any final thoughts?
Yeah, no, if you're just listening to this because, you've seen Parasite, but you haven't seen the other movies, you should see The Host. Yeah, let's look up The Host on Chrome. It's one of the director's earlier movies.
It was another horror film, but this one was
Yeah.
a little more kaiju based
Yeah,
than
it's
human
like
based.
if you're wondering what this director would do if if he had a if he had like a monster movie. Yeah,
I
yeah, this
love
is
I love that shot.
this is the movie where it's like it's a comedy, it's also horror, and it goes into very unexpected emotional places, and it also talks about class and also Snowpiercer, of course. You read my mind.
Yep.
Fantastic movie, and
Now I just want to say one thing.
yes.
If you're wondering why Captain America is just resting his hand on his chin while having shawarma, this is the movie.
Yeah, at the end of the Avengers, you might notice Captain America is there, but he's just, doing this,
He,
just covering his. It's because he was filming Snowpiercer at the time, and Chris Evans. It's like, oh, yeah, he's a very in-demand actor. He wanted to be in Snowpiercer. He wants to work with Bong Joon-ho. So,
and some would say the sequel to Willy Wonka.
yeah, and I have not seen some of the other movies like Mother and Okja. I will check those out. I hear they're very good. I can't recommend them because I haven't seen them, and I don't want to be a poser. It's
But
it automatically goes to the Aronofsky film. This is not
that's
this.
that is
This is not the same.
nope.
Okay, type in Korean,
I'm gonna
and
say
that's
Boone.
yeah, that's close enough.
All
There we
right.
go. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Uh,
So I'm really glad that it won, and I'm glad that I had the opportunity to see it in theaters because uh, this is one of those experiences.
Yeah, I've seen people on the internet like, oh, why would Parasite win? Who has seen Parasite?
Yeah.
And it's like the people who have seen Parasite, like, friggin' Parasite, it's amazing. You should check it out.
Yeah.
And it's
And I actually want to break down the whole movie
yeah,
because uh, phenomenal art.
absolutely. It's worthy of analysis. Every shot, every every bit of it, from from head to toe. You really need to observe and just dissect. It's just one of those movies like this is a modern classic. This is a Shawshank Redemption.
They even use lightning crashes without it feeling out of place, and it's just amazing.
It's yeah. This is definitely a crew and a director who knows exactly what they're doing, and it's just everything's so calculated.
Just man, I could talk about this movie for hours, and we will,
We
and
will,
eventually.
we will.
So basically, I've said everything I wanted to say. Thanks for watching and
Thank you very
listening.
much for watching, and I hope we
Didn't
didn't
waste
waste
your
your
time.
time.